he needs help rebutting some archaeological evidence for the Bible. Somebody showed him something on the first 5 books of the Bible. The big thing was the whole Exodus thing, and the Jews wandering in the desert, in the wilderness for 40 years or whatever, and there's absolutely no archaeological evidence supporting any of that.
Oh, but they'll tell you there is.
Yeah.
And if you see the name Ron Wyatt, that's your rebuttal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's from Ron Wyatt.
Yeah, so this guy is a Seventh-day Adventist. He's like the Indiana Jones of Seventh-day Adventism. And he had no credentials in archaeology or anything, but he went off on these little, I guess we would call them snipe hunts here in the Deep South. And he would come up with something that I guess people who want to believe, who are very motivated, would find it compelling. But if you look a little deeper, you find out that actual legitimate archaeologists have an answer, and it's not the one that Wyatt came up with.
Yeah, a couple key points on the proposed archaeological claims that support the Bible. First of all, it's entirely possible that there are some archaeological finds that will support certain things in the Bible. Nobody's saying everything in the Bible is fiction. It's in many cases, it was real people in real places. We know things that happened because they're trying to describe their history. And so it's not surprising they might get some facts right. So some archaeology is going to support the mundane facts of the Bible. No amount of archaeological evidence is going to demonstrate the truth of the supernatural components of the religion. Many of them, you might want to ask, why is this not in actual archaeological magazines? Where's the peer review on this? Because Ron Wyatt, I think he thought he found Noah's Ark 3 or 4 times. He found a wagon wheel under the Red Sea, and that was supposed to be enough to show that the Red Sea was parted and that the Israelites crossed on dry land. Despite the fact that if you go with the numbers, if all of the Jews who were supposedly slaves in Egypt stood and held hand to hand, they would stretch from where they were supposedly enslaved to where they wanted to go in one continuous line. And by the way, that would have been enough people to overthrow all of that area of Egypt. I don't know how these people ended up, It's like, hey, I've got 5,000 slaves and me. Mm-hmm. Now,
well, and never mind the fact that there are lots of places where they didn't keep good records, but Egypt, along that frontier, that was a place where they actually did keep pretty good records.
Curiously, they don't record a flood.
Yeah, they don't record
of the world.
A flood. They don't record this. What was it? 600,000 slaves leaving Egypt.
I think that because we only count men.
Yeah, that was.
It ends up a population of almost 3 million, I think.
So anyway, we've got the millions of people, and there's no recording of that. And these are people who, if like some wandering goat herds came to water their flocks, they would record. Okay, shepherds with 50 goats watered their flocks.
There's no overlapping artifacts in the language that is what you would expect if people had been enslaved by another people for a long period of time. But without knowing the specifics of what they're claiming, the big thing is, I would say, how does this prove God?
Right.
Oh, well, it just proves that this in the Bible happened. Okay, I may not even object to that. Hey, Joshua blew his trumpet and the walls of Jericho fell, and we found walls, and we found something about a city of Jericho. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Maybe Jericho was destroyed, and then some rather creative people decided to embellish the story of Jericho's destruction in order to bolster themselves. When you find evidence of the horn blowing and the angels coming down and these supernatural elements, that's great. And that would cause me to rethink. So I don't know how or where you demonstrate that evidence, but it'd be worth it.
Sheet music, that's what we need. The sheet music from when he was blowing his horn.
So that we can try it out ourselves.
Yeah.
Although it wouldn't work, and then they just say that's because God's not with you. God was with Joshua.